The Minister of State in charge of procurement, Adjaye, who happens to be the Deputy Majority Leader, says that the government will be investigating a petition over the alleged award of 12 contracts to renowned architect Sir David Adjaye. Now, in the petition addressed to the President and copied to the Speaker of Parliament, coordinator of the consortium, Dr. Eko Sam, said projects were awarded Sir Adjaye without regard to Ghana's procurement laws, Act 663 to be specific. Let's get some update on this from Joseph Akaple, who has been speaking with the Minister of State in charge of procurement, Adjaye. So what exactly is the update here?
So first she says that she chose to explain the role her ministry plays in all of this. She says they have more of an advisory role, and she thinks that subsequently, if the PPA, which is the entity that supervises procurement, could be brought under a ministry directly, that is, if the ministry will be something that will be staying on, that would rather help them work much better. As it stands now, they only advise the presidency depending on as and when it's needed. Then we asked about this particular issue that had come up, then she said, as far as they are concerned, they've heard about it, they've heard that the petition has been sent to the presidency, they'll be investigating it to see whether any process was breached in the award of the contract to the architect. You can take a listen to her.
I believe that the points or the petition that is being raised by a group of architects in Ghana and the petitioning to the president, I think is a step in the right direction. Being architects and being in the procurement process and being Ghanaians for that matter, they ought to be on the lookout for some of these things to alert the government. And my brother, that is one of the reasons why for us we believe that procurement should be given the necessary attention. Many think that my office is a ministry. It is not a ministry. It is an office under the office of the president to advise the president on policy. Public Procurement Authority and the Central Tender Review Committee, which are procurement agencies, are placed under the Ministry of Finance. I think that moving forward, once we have a minister for procurement, I might not be there forever, and I don't hope to be there forever, but let's create the proper institutions and structures to be able to monitor, to be able to supervise the activities of the procurement agencies. So now, once the petition has come, I'm sure His Excellency the President will engage my office, my good self, on those matters. We would engage the Association of Architects. We will interrogate, we would investigate those allegations and make proper recommendations. As it stands now, my ambit or my mandate rests with advisory and policy. So I will advise the President accordingly. But I think that moving forward, we ought to have procurement as a fully established ministry and move all those procurement agencies under that ministry. And that way you would have a minister supervising and monitoring and making sure things are done right. Finance is big. Finance is huge and has many tentacles. But the world is moving towards moving procurement as a little subset of finance into a fully grown matter, because whether you protect the public purse, whether there's corruption, whether you fail as a government, centers around procurement. So we ought to have a look at it.
On face value, in terms of your expertise, has it necessarily raised eyebrows that you have one person winning more than 10 contracts?
We will definitely interrogate the processes that went through in choosing whoever that has made the news all over. We need to properly interrogate, and where necessary steps need to be taken to ensure that the right things are done, we will do so. Thank you.
Right, well, that was Adjaye expressing her view on the David Adjaye projects. Anything else you touched on?
Just a bit about the foreigners who are engaged in retail trade. That issue came out on the floor of Parliament, and some interesting views from the Majority Leader. You know, governments have so far not publicly commented on whether foreigners should be barred from engaging in the retail trade. The point they keep on making is that they engage in them and trying to address this issue. Gov't has always said that they should go ahead and bar them. And there's a parliamentary committee that's already probing the disturbance that took place. But the majority leader spoke on the floor of the parliament about this issue when a statement was made by an MP on this matter, and the majority leader says they have no business engaging in retail trade. We can listen to him.
I don't think we have that clip at the moment, but we'll certainly be bringing it to you in subsequent bulletins. Until then, though, thank you so much for that, Joseph. You've been busy today.
I'm very busy.